Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into what a new Trump administration could mean for US climate policy. It's more like cloudy, with a chance of the planet getting less hospitable for humans. Now, you might be thinking, didn't we just go through this? And the answer, unfortunately, is yes. We're essentially staring down the barrel of a climate policy sequel. So buckle up, dear viewers, as we break down the key changes you can expect and what those changes could mean for our future. Because while climate change might seem like a problem for future generations, it's already impacting us. Let's start with the Biden-era climate policies, which were at least a step in the right direction. We're talking about funding for renewable energy and electric vehicle infrastructure. Trump has made it clear he wants to wipe those policies off the books. He's promised to claw back unspent funds and dismantle the programs themselves. If Biden's climate policies are heading for the chopping block, what's Trump going to replace them with? A whole lot of love for fossil fuels. Trump's plan is to crank up fossil fuel production, roll back methane emissions rules, and fast-track permits for fossil fuel projects. And let's not forget about those pesky environmental reviews and legal challenges. Trump plans to make them toothless. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but surely the US will still be involved in global efforts to address climate change, right? Because if there's one thing we've learned, it's that this administration doesn't really do global cooperation. Remember the Paris Climate Accord? Trump's already yanked us out of that once, and spoiler alert, he's planning on doing it again. Instead, the Trump administration seems to believe that the best way to address climate change is to just pretend it's not happening. We've got the Trump administration rolling back climate policies, boosting fossil fuels and ditching international agreements, but surely they wouldn't go after the scientists who are sounding the alarm on climate change, right? Because yes, under a new Trump administration, climate science itself could be in the crosshairs. We're talking about potential cuts to federal funding for climate research. And it's not just the research. Agencies like the EPA could see their authority significantly weakened. Now, before you despair completely, there is a small glimmer of hope in all of this. And that glimmer comes from the most unlikely of places, the free market. Even if the Trump administration goes all in on fossil fuels, the rest of the world is moving in the opposite direction. The demand for renewable energy is skyrocketing, and the cost of things like solar and wind power has plummeted. So while the US might lag behind in terms of government policy, market forces could still drive clean energy innovation and adoption. Eventually those winds might just be too strong to ignore. So there you have it, a glimpse into the potential climate chaos that could await us under a new Trump administration. It's a bleak picture, to be sure, but it's not a foregone conclusion. The future is not set in stone. The question is, will we stand idly by or demand action and fight for a future where we can all breathe a little easier?